All right, thank you, Marco. Thank you, Marco, for the great tunes to get us started. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. We'll get started. I don't want to waste any more of y'all's time. Thank y'all for being here on a rainy Tuesday. We're going to get started, and we're talking, as usual and always, about relationships. That's always the name of the game with most of these Zoom conversations. Sometimes we branch off and venture into other topics, but this is a friendship group and a relationship group. So, well, it's not really a relationship group, but it's a friendship group, and we talk about a lot about relationships because that's what's important to people. So that's why we have these Zoom conversations. But anyway, normally I have like a little video clip or something to play at the start, but I thought would be more appropriate to just pull up the definition of average. And here we have the definition of average. It's an adjective, and the definition is being about midway between extremes, a man of average height. Okay, so we're just talking about midway. Right. So the extreme would be a guy who's 7 feet and then a guy who's 4'2". Those are the extremes, but average is somewhere in the middle there. OK, not ordinary, common, the average person. So that's just what average is, because I've been noticing a lot of people. Well, we have some polls, and I just wanted to see what people's opinion is and thoughts on the word average as it's applied to people. But we'll have time for that. Hold on, I got to stop my share because I don't know if I shared my audio. Let me try sharing it again. Share sound, because we have a few videos in the presentation. All right, there we go. I just saw Naomi pull up. What's up, Naomi? All right, so welcome new and old group members. Just a quick little presentation. We're going to get started. A little bit about our group, what this group's about. Learning, teaching something new, encouragement toward better health, wealth, and relationships. We're not a singles group. We're a friends group. There's different expectations with the friends group versus a singles group. You can come here. You're going to make friends, and I can guarantee that if you try and put for forever. But I can't guarantee you're going to be in a relationship. I know a lot of people, they join Meetup and do things like that in order to get in a relationship, but I can't guarantee that. That's not really my goal with this group. It's about socializing with other positive people, _positive. We do online and in-person meetups. You are now in an online meetup, but we have a few, we have quite a few in-person meetups on the docket. We've been kind of slowing down because I've been noticing a lot. It seems like a lot of meetups are just doing, not a lot of original stuff happening. And I just want to do some original stuff when we do some meetups. So we got some stuff in the queue, but I'm just kind of waiting and keeping some stuff in the tuck and just waiting till I get some free time personally. We're a meetup group created for Black people, but we don't discriminate on others based on race, religion, or sexual orientation. So everybody's welcome in our group, even though it's a group, even though I created for Black people, but everybody's welcome. We don't discriminate. So context, while we're having these relationship conversations online, to meet new people and see where they stand on important relationship issues. Number 2 is to learn more about the opposite sex, to see what they think, and to restore and encourage healthy Black relationships through engaging in conversation. That's all we're having here tonight, is a conversation, exposing each other to new thoughts and new ideas about relationships. What's up, Timmy? I see Timmy's in here. Timmy's about to pull up. What's up, Timmy? It's good seeing you. Let's see. And to see more 2-parent households or nuclear families. This is a chart from the Institute of Family and Living Studies. As you can see, in the Black household, only 36% of children grow up in houses with their fathers. So that's one part of the Black relationship crisis. And as you can see here in this chart here, I share the same stuff every time, so some people are real familiar with this, but I just like to frame the conversation to let people know why it is we're doing what we're doing. We're just not here to just talk junk about each other and do all this stuff. We're trying to lay some groundwork here, and we're trying to do something positive. Prior to the 1960s and 70s, Black folks were the most married. After that, some things begin to change. These are some things on the right here on your screen are some reasons why I think that may have influences or impacted, but opinions differ on that. Some people say feminism was a positive thing for the Black community. It's helped Black relationships. So there's different opinions on it. And there's war on drugs, mass incarceration. So I just let y'all form your own opinions. But when you look at sociologists, when people who talk and study about these are things that they put out there in terms of that may have influenced it. Let me admit. All right, there we go. Oh, we got Brandy just pulled up. Gina's pulling up. What's up, y'all? It's good seeing y'all. Welcome, everybody. Prior to, and this is here, current stats of today. As you can see, 50% of us are not married, which is the lowest of all ethnic groups in the United States. For all the U.S., it's only 34%, but for us, 50% never married. So there's a real Black relationship crisis. We talk a lot about relationships and the state of dating, and there's three different eras of dating is generally recognized. You had at one point there was arranged marriages. This is when we're talking about when we're back in Africa. Then we talk about prior, we talk about traditional way, which was courting. Those were way things were done back then in days. You meet the parents, people are kind of doing things and there's a process that happens. But now we live in the modern era and we really live in a dating culture. And there's some hallmarks of the modern dating culture and some things that distinguish it or set it apart is we have online dating and social media. We begin to see acceptance of non-traditional gender roles and feminism. Let's see here. We have non-nuclear family structures. As you can see here, let's see here. So this is Brittany Cooper, well-known feminist. She said, we don't need traditional nuclear families for Black thriving. So that's just a general idea that's out there that we hear when we talk about, like, a lot of people don't think that we need men and women together, and they think that the Black community can still thrive when that isn't happening. So that's a little bit that what's out there in the atmosphere. We also have sexual liberation, promiscuity, and short-term sexual encounters in this current dating culture. For some, it's a good thing. For some, not so much. We also have non-exclusivity, and something that I learned about this week. A lot of folks are doing multi-dating, and that's basically dating more than one person at once. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening when we talk about the dating culture today. But with this group, there's two approaches to dating. You have casual dating, and that's casual relationships, physical, emotional relationships between two people that may or may not have casual sex or near sexual relationship without necessarily demanding or expecting additional commitments. And it's more of formal romantic. I'm sorry, I'm talking fast. I'm trying to get through this because I got a lot. Let's see here. Motives for casual relationships may vary. Let me slow down just a little bit. But what we do here, and if I do have a message or anything that I try to do, is I try to encourage people to intentionally date. And this is the definition of intentional dating. Intentional dating means simply this: slowing down. It means taking a break from the casual swipe right or swipe left culture and being more mindful about the process. It means thinking about what you truly want in a partner and reflecting on patterns and habits that may be keeping you from that person. So that's what we try to encourage here. And I think that's what a lot of our folks here are about, is intentional dating. So that's a common theme and a common element that you'll hear with the things we talk about. So onto the topics. What's wrong with average, and your top 3 things you're looking for in a partner. But first, we're going to open it up with a poll here. And I just want to know what y'all's thoughts are on average. So I'm going to pull a poll, get by your computer, get by your phone, and we're going to ask 4 questions here. And I'll launch a poll and I'll read it. This is not a gender-based poll, so everybody can answer. And I just want to see what y'all's opinions are. We'll give y'all about a minute and a half to answer. First question is, could you date a person who was all around average? Looks, we're talking about looks, money, height, just any variable, but overall, this person's an average person. I saw Anna had dropped the comment just before this meeting started, said, I hope that when we talk about average, we're including more things than just the superficial things. And I went too far with the thing. Okay, we'll get back to that. But okay, everybody's answering. Second question, do you consider the word average an insult when applied to people? Generally speaking, are women aware of their averageness? Generally speaking, are men aware of their averageness? We'll give y'all about 30 more seconds to answer that poll. We got 84 people in this house. It's good to see y'all so early, so bright and early, 84 people. We're going to do about 20 minutes for this presentation, y'all, and then we'll open it up and get y'all's opinions on everything. I hope y'all have y'all list ready, your top 3 things you're looking for a partner. We'll give about 15 more seconds, give everybody a chance. Some people are new here, so they may be just trying to figure out the software and figure out how to answer the poll. And I'm going to share the results with you all. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let me end this poll. Let me share the results here. So, okay, now this is surprising because 81% of people saying they could date someone who was overall average. This doesn't correlate with the boots on the ground information that I've been asking people, but maybe y'all can explain that further a little later. Do you consider the word an average an insult when applied to people? About 30% of people think it is, and the other percentage don't. Okay, I don't think it's an insult because I think they're just, I think that there is such thing as average. Average is okay. Generally speaking, are women aware of their averageness? Let's see here. 42% said yes. 55% said no. Generally speaking, are men aware? So about almost like the same split. So it's almost like half and half. So half people are average and don't really know it. And at least that's what we think. All right. So I think that was just an interesting poll to get us started here with the whole average topic. Let me stop sharing. Let's see. I stopped that share. I think I already shared the results. All right. All right. So a little bit what got this started. I was at a sleepover, co-ed, few people, and then brother Will's in the house. And then we had a conversation party. And anybody who's read the conversation book, on this thing, you everybody writes an anonymous question to the group. And Will had asked a question about, would you date a man who makes 40K a year? And of all the sisters there, none of them said they would. And so I began that really surprised me, and that sparked me to continue on this train of thought and say, well, 40 is below average. So I figured out, and then later on I saw Anthony O'Neill, who was on the Dave Ramsey team, and he had shared this on his Instagram, and he said studies show the average Black man will make 45K a year. Only 11% of all men and women make 100K this year. So when I hear my sisters say they don't want a man who makes over 100K, do they realize they're competing with other women for about 7% of men? So it got my wheels to turn. I was like, okay, so 40K, universally, the women said they wouldn't do it. Then I began to ask a question, or just in group chats, I just began to ask questions informally. We had Harold had a birthday. I was asking there about the 48K thing. And overwhelmingly, not one lady said that they would date a man who makes 48K a year. And that's average. I think Anthony's stats maybe a little, but 48K is what's universally accepted as average income. So that really got my wheels to turn, and it really surprised me because when Kevin Samuels blew up, we saw time and time again, a lot of ladies were going on there and saying, hey, I want a six-figure man, a six-figure earner. But then a lot of ladies in real life, I would hear them say, well, these women are silly. They can't have that. But what these women didn't say in real life was, yeah, I don't want I'm not necessarily looking for a six-figure man, but I don't want an average man either. So I feel like in some ways I'm finding like a whole new dynamic here that a man of average income is simply not enough for a lot of women, because I haven't met one who said it's sufficient. And maybe somebody can tap in tonight who might agree that it is. But anyway, a little earlier we had tapped in and we looked at some data around the statistics, and this is for the Black community. And these statistics come from the CDC and Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal, I think, pulled their information from, I think, the US Census. But anyway, we factored in the equation, and only 18% of men are 6 feet or taller. Only 5% of Black men make 100K or more. And when we use a probability calculator, and we found that the 6 feet and a six figures thing is less than 1% of men. And that's been a common thing that we hear a lot of women say that they want. But as you can see, we're talking rarefied air when we talk about that. And I just only bring that up to say that we're kind of like all these conversations tend to float together. But anyway, we begin to look further at some of the data surrounding what's out here and availability of men, because a lot of women commonly say there's a shortage of men out here. There's a shortage of Black men. I don't know what to do. So we looked at data. We went to Black demographics. We went all over. We looked at men who were in prison. We looked at geographic statistics around the Atlanta metro market specifically. And we also hear the thing about, well, a lot of men are gay. So we broke all this down. We looked at all these numbers and we figured out what the data was. We counted for interracial relationships, and we found out that the real ratio, because you often hear women say that the ratio of men to women in Atlanta is 10 to 1, 21. I heard some wild numbers, but when we actually did the math and broke it down, we actually figured out it's closer to 7.5 to 11 is what for single available Black men to single available Black women in the Atlanta metro market. But now I think I need to refigure this whole thing and put a new ratio up there, because now I'm figuring out that for a lot of sisters, average income is not enough. So of that 7.5, I have to discount half of the 7.5 at least, because a lot of sisters are saying average income is not enough. And so I have to eliminate, of all those single men, I have to eliminate about half of them. So if we're going down that road and average income is not enough, we're looking at a ratio about three men to every 11 women. And I don't take any pride in this. And I know if it sounds like I'm getting on the women tonight, it's not intentional, because a lot of men are really disappointed with a lot of what they're hearing, and if women are truthful, they'll be honest and say that the average income is not what they want. And so so if it sounds like I'm getting on a woman, it's really everybody. This is a tough pill for everybody to swallow here tonight. Not everybody. Some people, none of this stuff just factors into the equation. But for a lot of brothers, they hear this stuff, and this is very disappointing. So I don't want the ladies to think I'm just getting on them tonight, because everybody's hearing this message, and it's a kind of a sobering message for a lot of people, especially for people who want to see Black folks together, because we're, a lot of us, we have these standards, and I'm not excluded from that. But a lot of our standards could be keeping us separate and keeping us apart. But we got 95 people now, so this must be an interesting conversation for people, surprisingly. All right, so theory. So the theory is, a lot of men say all women want the top percent of men. And if we look at this, if we just take this, we take all the stuff into consideration, we have to say that's true. We have to say that majority of women, and I know that this was a little bit of an informal thing that I did in asking women. It's all anecdotal, but I had to ask about 20 plus women, is 48K sufficient? And universally, nobody said it was. So I just have to assume that this is true, that all women want a small select group of men when you factor for all these other variables. But let me keep it pushing here. Just some comments from some group chats that I'm in. Just kind of when this is more just showing that I was talking to ladies about and I blocked out the names here because I know folks didn't want to be put on blast, and I wouldn't do that. But these are just some comments that some ladies had about the whole thing around 48K, 40, whatever it is. So you can see here, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll hit some of the highlights, and you can see one sister said also 45K is only, okay? Can't do much extra with that. You can't do much extra with 45K a year is what sisters are saying. He only makes 45K. That's what they're saying. And 3,700 is not helping the household. Now, for the life of me, I can't understand how, if you're making however much you're making, and then somebody else comes into the picture bringing whatever it is that person's bringing, how that does not help to your household. If that person's making 20K, how does that not help to the household? Unless their overall expenses is greater than 20K. That's the only way it doesn't help. But if a person's bringing in more than they take out, to me, that has to be helping. But anyway, and then another sister said, let's see here. This is another complete different. She said, you talk about women in the group. She said, we've had their time. They had their time with the 45K in their early years. We've moved up, is what sisters are saying now. So our needs and wants have well. So they're saying at one point in time, the 40K or less brother, or 45K or less, it was sufficient. But now that I've matured, my needs have changed, and that's what happened here. So as you can see, we're at a crossroads here, because something's happening. And as you can see here, and this is some stats that I also brought up here. There's there's an abundance of single folks of the older we get. Hold on, let me admit this person here. Okay, as you can see, as millennials, and this is looking at income here. There's a 1-to-1 ratio for millennials. Like, say if somebody wants a woman's a 6-figure earner and she wants a man who makes 6 figures, there's a 1-to-1 ratio there for millennials. And across most of the stats, women can find their match. But what happens is there's a lot of different variables, but as we age and get older, the things drastically start to change, and there becomes an abundance of single older women to single older men. And there's a lot of variables and things that are happening and I think that one of these things, and we're kind of touched on this here with this conversation, we look at income, is that for a lot of people, what's up, Natalie? Natalie just put up, man, we got a full house. She's probably gonna be the last one in here. All right, so, so for a lot of people, income was like a real driving force. And this doesn't change as women gets older. Actually, their standard gets higher in terms of income. So we're seeing, and then as men also, as they get older, you probably won't be able to admit Letitia. I think we're at a full house. Sorry, Letitia, y'all might have to come back. If somebody can drop in the comments on Meetup to say that we're full, try back in maybe 15 minutes, just in case for people who are trying to get in and can't get in. Somebody can just do that real quick. Just let folks on Meetup know what's happening. But, so as people age, that they can't, there becomes an abundance of single women because their standards have increased, and there's just not enough men at their income threshold that they want to meet. Because you hear a lot of sisters say, well, I need a man who makes at least what I make or more. So this creates a problem down the road as women age, because men start dating younger. And we looked at research from Stanford University and found that men in their 50s on average, marry 11 years younger. Men in their 40s marry 7 years younger, and so on and so forth down the road. So what's happening is that men are dating younger and younger and younger, and a lot of sisters are being boxed out due to expectations that that just aren't there. The men that they want aren't there, on the men they're moved on to other demographics and they're not dating their peers or their counterparts in their same age range. We got another poll here. I try to mix it up with some polls to kind of break the monotony of me talking. So this is a gender-based poll. So we're going to do women first, then we're going to do men, and we'll give y'all about a minute and a half to answer. Let's see here. What poll do I have here for the ladies? For women first, men do not answer. Please don't mess up these poll results. Simone, if you're still in the house, can you screenshot these results and send them to me? Because I am curious about this one here, Simone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Simone. So I'm gonna launch this here for the women. Okay, so I want to know, what generation are you in, and it has the age range. Are you Z, millennial, Gen X, or you're not listed here? And you can see the age ranges beside it. Second question is, how important are men's earnings? Not important at all, moderately important, significantly important. The third question is, how important are men's looks? Same answer choices. And then the last one is, what's the minimum a man must earn for you to marry him? Okay, we're talking about marry him. Don't when you answer that question, don't say, well, he has to well, he can start here. Just take him for what he is, right where he's at. Don't say, well, he's gonna start here, but he's gonna end here. No, we're just talking for what you have right here in front of you. What's the minimum for marrying? We'll give you all about 30 seconds to answer that. We have a similar poll, maybe a little twist on the questions for the fellas. So just hold up, guys. And Timmy, I saw you walking here. What's up, Timmy?
Good, Cado. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Give y'all about 15 seconds. And I'll share the results so y'all can see them. All right, I'm going to end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let me share the results here. So as suspected, majority of folks in here are millennials. 40% are in Gen X. Let's see here. We got a few Gen Zs. I know Simone's one of them. Let's see here. Let's see, how important are men's earnings? Moderately important, significantly important. About 30% of sisters think it's significantly important. How important are looks? So even more think that less think that looks are significantly important, about 15%, but moderately important, 76%. So there goes the whole notion. Men can throw that out the window, that women don't really care about looks as long as your paper's right. They do care about looks as well. Let's see here. And what's the minimum a man must earn for you to marry him? And as we can see here, only one person, only one sister, 21 to 41K. Let's see here. About 42, about average. So only 20, and this shows here, only 20% of the sisters here in this room could marry a man who makes average income. So average is not enough. And I know that when we talk about income, we're just applying one variable to a person, but I'm just, for the most part, and I'm going to show some data to show what we look for when we look at partners, and to show that income's a major factor for sisters. So when we just apply income to people, it's a good way to just say this is the average in terms of the dating market. Average man, below average. What's up, Bacchus?
I'm just saying, those women that say that they'll marry those men, they should let themselves be known, and I guarantee by next year they'll have a husband.
Which one for the low? The ones that want to marry the lower income guys?
Yeah, because they're gonna have a real good chance. They're gonna have a lot of dudes in the DMs. They're gonna be locked down before the summer's over, and they can be married by next year. So y'all should just go ahead and raise your hands right now.
All right, there you go. There's Bacchus take on it.
Hold on.
Let's not get distracted. We still got a lot more information. I'll just let Bacchus get in there real quick. But let me launch a poll for men. Go ahead, men. Similar questions here, guys. Go ahead and answer if you can. Marco, what you doing out there, Marco? Marco fell out of the room. All right, let's see. So men, almost similar questions. Let's see here. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're asking the same questions, but some of them are worded a little different, but it's the same question. Go ahead, Gina. While the guys are answering, you can tap in real quick, Gina. Just real quick if you can.
Hey, I was just going to say, I think that Marcus is kind of right, because I have not really ever been concerned with a man's income, and I've been married many times, 3 times. The money was never the issue. My issue, I didn't have issue with the money. Now, they had issue with how much money they made, but I didn't.
Okay, so Gino's probably the one who answered the 20 to 40K, I'm guessing. But let me go ahead. We'll give you guys about 15
I
more.
answered 42 because it's average.
All right.
I think you can live off of that in Georgia.
All right, thank you. Real quick, Sharon. Sorry, y'all. I know y'all want to weigh in there, Sharon, real quick, and look the guy. We'll get a guys. If you can go in 15 seconds, Sharon, then we'll keep it pushing.
Okay.
I guess not. Natalie, real quick, Natalie.
So I have a question. I don't know if the person that just said she got married 3 times can answer, but I know, I believe if it's not number 1, number 2 response of why people get divorced is because of money. So I like to get an understanding, like how do people think that that's not important when that's number 1 cause of divorces?
You want to answer real quick, Gina?
I think that there is the thing of people's beliefs around money. I don't think it's the amount of money, because there's plenty of people who don't have money and are married for years and years. And there's plenty of people who have lots of money that don't stay married at all a long time. I think you have to have the same value system around money. That's the issue. And I think that
I'm sorry,
that isn't often spoken on.
Thanks, Gina. Real quick. So guys, so we don't have any Gen Z guys, but we got a lot of millennials, a lot of Gen X. Let's see here. Moderately. Okay. So women's earnings. Okay. This actually surprised me. Let's see here. 65% said a woman's earnings is moderately important. I would think that the number would be different. I would think that for a lot of men, it's not important at all. But for a lot of guys, it's moderately important. That's interesting, guys. Maybe y'all can weigh in a little bit later and tell me why that is. For me, it's not that significant, but y'all surprised me here. Let's see here. Important women's looks. This surprised me as well. 55% said moderately important, significantly important. I would have answered significantly important for that one. Maybe because I'm honest with myself. I don't know if y'all guys are being honest here. Let's see here. What's the minimum income? What? Hold on. So what's the minimum a woman must earn for you to marry her? Man, God, what are y'all doing here, man? So guys, they want a woman. 75% of guys say a woman needs to be in the lower middle class, talking 41 to 99K. Wow. So y'all might be turning a lot of my arguments, a lot of things that I be saying on his head, because y'all do want a woman who can kind of bring something to the table financially, and looks don't play as high a part as I thought it would. So y'all are actually surprising me. So maybe I'm the oddball and the standout. I think Simone, I gave you time to capture that. Let me go ahead and end that here. We'll keep it pushing. Go ahead. I'll let you get in real quick, Sharon. Real quick, sister.
Oh, hi, everyone. I personally think if the relationship is happy, money is not important. I think money becomes important maybe in the beginning, but once you build on that relationship and you become a couple that really understand and love and are happy with each other, you make what you have work. And I think that's why a lot of relationships are breaking up, because they move into it with these, I hate the word superficial, but they move into it with, you got to take care of me, pay my bills, and the woman have to look a certain way. And then, but that doesn't cover or meet any of the other expectations. So the relationship.
All right, thanks, Sharon. I'm sorry. We just got a lot to get through, and a lot of folks want to weigh in, and I don't like to, drone on and on. I just be trying to get through this. But thanks, Sharon. I definitely hear what you're saying. You said that earlier in a relationship, when people are happy, money plays less of a factor, and I completely agree. All right, so here we pulled some data before on some statistics around what men and women look for out here on the dating market. And let's see here, right here on the left is men and women. This is like short term. And as you can see in the short term, the top screen is women. When the factors that they're considering, things that are baked into the cake here is 35%. Women are looking 35% at man's looks, 30% their game. This is what the man's saying to you. The thing he's speaking, is he able to carry conversation? Does he look like he have a plan, a vision, leadership? All these things that's game. 9% personality. So these are things in the short term what women look at. So in the short term for men, the things that men look at, now the men here in our group are a little different according to that stat I just pulled up. But on the larger data market, 80% of the time, men, we look at looks in the short term in terms of the valuation we're making. So 80%, that's like the main thing that's baked into the cake for guys is looks. Looks is really key. It's an important factor for men. when considering mates on the short term. And then the graphs here on the left is for the long term. And as you can see, for women in the long term, it's the pie's a little bit more even. 27% they're looking at a man's resources, his income. Let's see here. Game matters less here in the long term. They don't care about your game then. They're looking at your personality. They're looking at your status. What kind of job do you hold? Are you able to hold down a job? How are you liking your community? Stuff like that. And all these these are different factors. And for men, when we talk about long-term mates, looks are still very high up on a man's list, and it's still the highest piece of the cake at 29%. But the second largest piece of the cake for men is age. So we see here, we see the graph that we showed earlier on the single thing, that there are a lot of older single women because age is a factor. And I think I owe a lot of that probably to men wanting children later in life. And especially the way times are now, people are having children later and later and later. And so that's definitely a variable there. So this is a lot of the major factors that's happening. And as you can see that men, looks matter less. It's no longer 80%, it's 29%, but the men start to look at things like faithfulness, 20%, personality, 16%. So as you can see, there's differences in what we look for in each other when it comes to short-term and long-term mates. So I just thought that's interesting. And I think a lot of the data bears that out, just not this here. So the major takeaway when it comes to our ability to initially attract a mate, looks matter most for men and for women, but especially so for men. The second takeaway was when picking long-term mates, a man's resources and status matters most to women. A woman's age and looks matter most to men. Just some little things here, just real quick. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this slide, but we had some conversations. We talk about what's a man's lane, what's a woman's lane, and we broke all that down to two different sides of the thing here. And I don't know if Ken's here, but a lot of the stuff that I got here from the left side, Ken always talks about your marriage number or something like that. And he has this whole mathematical formula. But when I really sat down and thought about it, I was like, you know what? Ken's kind of right. He breaks it down to look, character, and quality of life. And there's different variables into all those categories. And with men, we're looking at looks, money, status, character, personality, game. And that this information we see here basically correlates to the graph and the information we've seen on the other slide. So these are things that people look for when looking for a mate and for trying to determine our lanes. So just some hard truths, and I'm about to end it here with the whole average thing, and then we're going to talk about lists. I hope y'all have y'all's list ready. We don't have a lot more to go, but let's see here. So some hard truths and some solutions. This is what I've gathered. These are some personal hard truths that I think that we all need to kind of meditate on and think about, because we're all here as intentional daters. We're all here as people who want to see Black folks back together, but we need to accept some certain realities, I think. And I think that the data and just from hearing and talking to each other, that these are some hard truths that we can kind of come to. Let's see here. Let me meet this person. All right. Hard truth number one. Men are going to have to accept the hard truth that being an average income earner will make you undateable to in the majority of women's eyes. As we saw, we did a poll earlier and we saw that. For all the women I've asked, those 20 plus women in the past few weeks, the average income was not something any of them were willing to accept. And the poll we did here earlier showed that for the majority of women, the average income is not sufficient. All right. So that's a hard truth that men are going to have to swallow here. All right. Hard truth for women that women are going to have to swallow is that we're going to have to accept the hard truth that above average income earning men, that all the above average income men that the women want, because all women want these men, whether a woman's average or above average or below average, they all want above average income earning men. They don't want average looking women. And we saw that in the past slide a few slides ago. Education, experience, and career accomplishments doesn't make a woman above average to these men. Actually, but for the guys from the poll we did, the guys in our chat, for some reason, it does. They really care about a woman's income and whatnot, which surprised me. So, but overall, when we look at other things, it seems like that data doesn't bear out. But maybe the guys here are more honest, or maybe they're less honest. I don't know. But her beauty, cooperation, and youth matter more to above average income earning men. So those are the hard truths. So let me also have some solutions. Friend Anna has said we had this conversation at Harold's birthday. And she said, where's the middle ground? Where's some solutions? So these are just some things that I think could be some solutions here. And I think we need to find a compromise, and we need to adjust our standards and expectations. I'm not just talking about women, and I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about everyone. And I know certainly that I've adjusted as I age. I've adjusted my expectations. At one time in my life, I would say of myself, I said, I can't date a woman with kids. But as I get older, I know that things change and life happens for people. People are having kids, people are having normal functioning relationships, and things are happening. So if I still want to have a chance to find a mate, I've had to lower, I don't say lower, I have to change my expectations and my standards. And I think that a lot of sisters, if at one point, if your thing is, a man needs to make what I make or above, why not give brothers a little more grace, when it comes to income? Because I always say, I remember a time where when I was at 45K and I was hustling and I hustled and I figured things out. I started doing some investments. I bought a rental property and I made it happen. So where a person starts is not where we're going to finish, but we need to have more grace with each other if we want to start solving this relationship crisis, I think. So that's one of the solutions. And I know a lot of brothers here, they listen to a lot of things that sisters are saying right now. A lot of guys are down, you know what I mean? And they have stuff figured out, but they have a plan and they're working their plan, but they're looking at the way sisters are talking and treating them right now. And they're saying, man, when I get to that level, I'm not dealing with these sisters, man. I'm going, some say I'm going outside my race. Some are saying, I'm just not going to, I'm just going, they're going to be savages once they get to where they want to go. Because they're listening to the things women are saying now. So, but I'm saying in terms of the solution, we need to have more grace with each other. We need to be more understanding. We need to adjust our expectations. Now, I'm not saying lower your standards, adjust them, okay?
But Michelle, you said something interesting. You said Mary.
Okay, so Lena has sent this clip, and Lena's been going off about this whole accepting a man at 45K, but she sent this clip here. I think she wanted to prove her point with this, but I think in some ways this clip that Michelle Obama speaking actually helped prove my point about us having more grace and understanding for each other. But listen real quick. She's talking to Gayle King. I don't know what kind of conference this is, but just listen up real quick.
When it's your equal. We're at a stage now where many women earn men, and I think that's very difficult for some men. And I've gotten to the place where I don't want to be a nurse or a purse. So when you say marry somebody, I like that, Gail. Nurse or a purse, I like that. So when you say, and I would like him to have his own teeth too. So when you say you're equal, what do you mean by that?
And equality is not just measured in terms of the wallet. I'm not just talking about, you gotta be this person or that person.
Equality is not just measured in terms of the wallet.
And equality in terms of the values that they carry. It's like honesty, look, honesty for me is the beginning, the middle, and the end. I just wouldn't want to be bothered with somebody that I couldn't trust on a day-to-day basis. Because I'm trustworthy, so I expect my partner to be trustworthy.
You said something to me years ago when you all first went on this journey. You said Barack Obama has never disappointed you in the things that matter.
Absolutely.
I've never, ever forgotten that because I think that's such a good barometer.
And those are the things you fall back on.
Yes,
it's the basic core of who the person is. So it's not just about how much money they make or what their title is. We get lost in that kind of stuff. And we sometimes wind up with the wrong people because somebody could have the right title and the right salary and the wrong heart, the wrong soul, the wrong core.
All right, so very, very classy lady, Michelle Obama. Y'all heard what she said there, that sometimes we get caught up in this whole how much a person makes, but there's other factors and there's other variables that go into it. I won't let you get in there, Harold. There's other factors and other things that go in there. And so why are we getting caught up on that one thing? What's the person's character? What's their heart? You can leave your hand up, Harold. What you got for us, Harold?
No, just real quick. I'm glad you did that Michelle Obama thing. She had made a comment about, this goes on about average wage, that her and Barack went out on a date and she could, Barack picked her up in a car and she could like see through the bottom of the car and see the street as she was riding through, right? And so, I mean, how many women would continue to go on a date with a man when they're in a car and they could see the street as they're going on a date? She stuck with him because, like she was saying, she saw like other things that was potential with him. And now, she's a president, he was the president of the United States. So I wanted to kind of just throw that out there just to let everybody know that she made that comment about, how important it was for to be with somebody based on that. So that was it.
Right. And that goes perfectly into our point. And I'm telling sisters, y'all, we have more grace with each other. Because when Michelle met Barack, he wasn't the president of the United States. He was driving a hoopty with a hole in the floor. And I don't want to steal, I know Bach is going to share stuff earlier, but I don't want to steal any of his thunder. But he had said at Harold's birthday, he said a lot of sisters, it seems, I got to steal your line, man, because it was a good line. They want to meet a brother at the finish line and they don't want to meet them on the way up. And that to me it crystallizes what's going on. Nika, I'm gonna give you 15 seconds. You can talk, girl. I'm gonna give you 15 seconds to say what you got to say, but we got to keep it pushing. We're almost done. Go ahead.
She may have not met him in the White House, but she damn sure didn't meet him old, trying to figure it out. It's levels to this. It's age appropriateness when it comes to you coming on up. So it's not a situation of wanting to meet someone at the finish line. It's a situation of what progress have you made up to the point that you're in.
Fair enough. Yeah, Brock, he wasn't a slouch. He was a high school. I mean, he was a Harvard graduate, granted. So, you know, he wasn't a slouch. He had potential. But that's the point of what I'm saying, is that just discounting somebody for where they're at in terms of their income is not a good measure. We need to look at other things and other variables. And I agree with you, Nick. You didn't say anything wrong there. I agree with you there. All right, let me go ahead and keep it pushing. We're almost done, y'all. A little bit. So, or you can elevate yourself to meet the standards that you have. If you're saying, if you're a sister, if you're a brother, and you're saying, I don't want average looking women, are you the sort of man that above average looking women want? If you're not, elevate yourself. If you're a sister and you don't want average income earning men, are you an average sister? And if you are or not, or if you are an average looking sister, these above average income earning men that you want aren't going to want you. So are you going to elevate in order to get these men? All right. Just something here. And this is a brother I was talking to. He's in the group. And he asked me, because I had shared that the hard truth. And he said, what's average to women? He asked about y'all, said 48K. He said, I agree. Men should selfishly focus on finances before seeking a relationship, become an above average earner, and the women will come to you. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I wish that things were a little different. I wish we had more agreements with each other. But if you're just trying to find somebody, that might be the course of action for fellas out there who struggle in the dating market, who feel that they might have better chances, is to just kind of elevate yourself and raise yourself. And then we got one last clip here from.
If you're not working 60 hours minimum a week that you're getting paid for, turn off YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and get your ass out there. Get you a job. I don't care about your pride. You can't be proud and broke at the same time. Work and work and work. And then you take that money you make from your part-time job, invest it to your future. The other percentage, invest it in self-improvement. Get you a high income skill. The harder you work, the luckier you get, the more exposure you get. It's about hard work and speed.
All right, so there's Kevin Samuels dropping some gems, some truths there, and a lot of people don't like Kevin Samuels, but occasionally he'll say some stuff that really resonates with a lot of brothers there. And I know some brothers like that right now. They're down right now, but they're working on their skills and they're trying to elevate themselves, and they got a game plan, and they're going to take that advice. They didn't necessarily get it from him, but they just know that they're working on themselves and they're building. They're getting discounted right now in the dating market, and it's a shame, because once they make it, they have all these other things. They're great men, but they're being overlooked for this income thing here. All right, I'm gonna let Brandy get in there while I launch this poll. What you got for us, Brandy? I think this is the last poll.
Hi. One of the things I was thinking about, I took some notes. One of the things I didn't hear was how income disparity impacts relationships, and how they can sometimes create resentment against gender norms. Mm-hmm. We live in a society where we can expect men to make more than the female in the household. And when there is not that balance, sometimes men can resent women. So I would just love to hear how other people feel in this chat room about that.
All right. I hear that. I hear that often as well. Interesting take. Like I said, it's a whole, that might be a whole another rabbit hole there, but I think we may have touched on that before, maybe slightly, the whole men being intimidated myth, or not myth. I want to say for some people is very real, but I've never experienced that myself personally. But I haven't dated anybody with a super large income gap than myself. But we got that last poll launch. Well, I got one more. It's like one more quick poll after this one, but this is just a quick poll, and we're gonna get into the list, y'all. I know we kind of dove in real deep about the average thing, but I just want to make sure we fully flesh that out, because it's been a hot topic as of late in the group. And so I decided it'd be good if we talked about it here. So I'll give y'all about 15 more seconds to answer that. Question we're asking is, do you think a person creating lists and what they want in a partner is a good thing, or does it make us more unreasonable? Second question is, when it comes to dating, how many people are proper to date at one time? Let's see here. So you got those options there. And should a woman shoot their shot? There we go. All right. We give y'all a few more seconds to answer that poll. And I'll show y'all the results. 5, 4.
Can't see the question.
Oh, somebody can't see it.
No, I can't see it.
That might be something where folks are answering. It might be something on your end, Sharon. But because we got
I already answered it, but I can't see it anymore. It's not up. So
yeah, if you already answered, you won't be able to see it. But let me go ahead and end it. I know everybody didn't get a chance to weigh in, but we won't keep it pushing. I think we can get a general idea from this. So as we can see here, 80% think looks are good. 20% thinks it just makes us more unreasonable. So most people are into the multi-dating thing. 2, 3 or more. 2 or 3, no more than 4 or 5, 50%. Some people say about 25% say date them all until the right one comes along. So ain't no limit. Just date. 1 person at a time, which was my thought process for a while. Thanks, Simone, for capturing those results. And then let's see here, and about 70% think that women should shoot their shot. I'm not personally a fan of women shooting their shot. I don't know. Maybe I'm more traditional that way, but 70% of people in here think that women should shoot their shot more. All right, so there we go. There we have it. Let me go ahead and end this. And we're going to get on to the next topic. And I don't have much here, but we're going to talk about lists, because lists are really going to be, it's going to be individual. And I always share my list. If there's any benefit to me hosting these discussions, just from some self-promotion, and I'm out here on the dating market, I'm trying to find somebody. So let me share my list. If y'all know somebody that's in mind. So right now, for the purpose of this discussion, we're just doing a top 3. We've done before, like, what's your list, like your ultimate list, like what's everything. And I'm going to share that. But just y'all, when y'all get y'all's list, we just want to know your top 3 things. So I want to share my personal list of everything I want to need that I'm looking for. And it may change, but in general, this is what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to share my top 3, but I have my list broken down to negotiable, some things that maybe non-negotiable, maybe negotiable. Somebody who's loyal, God-fearing, a helpmate, someone who matches my effort, respects and admires me, somebody I'm sexually compatible with, somebody who's curvy and beautiful. Let's see here, someone who's family-oriented, wants children, and is within childbearing years. Someone who's domestic and knows how to take care of the home, and they're not slothful and they're physically active. Some things that I'm negotiable about is I preferably no children, but it's negotiable. Preferably no blacks, negotiable. Preferably wears her natural hair, it's negotiable. Let's see, preferably my age or younger, negotiable. Preferably not a feminist. I don't know, that might have to be, I might have to move that to my non-negotiable for me personally. The feminism thing is hard for me, especially when you have sisters like Brittany Cooper saying things like we don't need nuclear families for Black Thrive, and that's really troubling to me. So I might have to move that to non-negotiable for me personally. Little to no debt or manager debt. Well, that's my personal list, y'all. This is just some self-promotion. Please, y'all know somebody, tell her holler at your boy, or tell me, or say, hey, holler at her. I'll pull up. All right, let me see here. Well, let's see. So this is my top 3 list. So number 1 for me, classy. Definition of classy: having or reflecting high standards of personal behavior. Someone who's curvy, having or suggesting curves of well-proportioned or feminine figure of pleasing shape. I like slim, thick. I like curvy women. That's my thing. And cooperative definition: to work well with another person for a particular purpose. And KS had his 3 F's. I got my 3 C's: classy, curvy, cooperative. Those are my top 3. That's what I'm personally looking for. I know y'all might have y'all own thing. Go ahead and get y'all's list ready. And let me see here. That's it, y'all. Oh, but I want to know. I want y'all to tell me something. I got one more poll. Let me go ahead and launch this last poll. I need to know, because some friends have been telling me that my list is I'm unreasonable with my list. I got too much stuff. So I just want to know what y'all think. Am I too unreasonable with my list? Can y'all just help me out and answer that? Y'all see my list up there. Y'all see how much stuff I got. I got a 10-point list of non-negotiable. Then I got about 8 things I'm negotiable on. Y'all let me know. Am I too unreasonable? What's the deal? Y'all help me out, because people been telling me that I'm out there with my list. You don't have to screenshot this one for me, Simone. I appreciate you. Thanks, Simone, for screenshotting all these ones up until now.
Hey, Cardo, come on down.
Let me say this, Backus. Hold on, Backus.
I got you.
Is that right?
He looking for a unicorn.
So you vote. So is that wrong? You think that's wrong or good, Rod?
It is wrong. Ain't no unicorns out here no more.
All right, there you go. I'm looking for a unicorn. I don't know. I feel like what it is that I want, I feel like I bring to the table. So maybe I'm a unicorn too. That's just how I feel. But let me go ahead and show y'all what y'all think.
All right.
Am I unreasonable here? Let's see here. So About 43% say I'm unreasonable. 57% say I'm not unreasonable. Thank y'all to the 57% people who really rock with me and really
all the
support
women
me.
that said no, y'all need to get in his DMs and marry this guy before.
Well, if they fit the list, don't just
nah,
my DMs.
they obviously fit the list.
Let's put that disclaimer out there. Let me go ahead and stop the share. Thank everybody. We're going to open up. So the way it works is we'll let everybody weigh in order that you hit the reaction button at the bottom of Zoom. Preferably, we'll just go to folks who have their camera on first because people like to talk to people. People like to see faces. 90% of communication is non-verbal, so we try to have folks on camera. That way we can see where people are coming from because people want to see your heart. People want to see where you're coming from. And after this, if more folks are still hanging out, we can open up breakout rooms. The breakout rooms are unrecorded. So I know we got some shy people in here. So talking to 100 people could be slightly intimidating, and I get that. But we'll have some breakout rooms probably just so we can break it down to some smaller rooms just so we can break the ice a little bit and maybe y'all can make some friends or just get your opinion out there without the larger audience. Craig is getting his camera on. We got Craig in the queue. We got Bacchus and we got Julia. We'll let them go, and I guess they're going to break the ice. If anybody else wants to weigh in, we'll end it there after everybody has spoken, and then we'll open up the breakout rooms. But I'm going to spotlight Craig. Let me spotlight the speaker. All right, Craig, what you got for us?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a good evening. In my experience, society has a weird way of telling everybody where they fall on the totem pole. Women who know they have more options as far as men, society tells them that they're in that place. Men that know that they have more options as far as the women that they have access to, society is what tells them where they land. So I would say, if we're trying to find a middle ground, I think the best option is to try to negotiate for the best that you can get for where you land on that totem pole. Because in most cases, there's possibility and there's probability. Anything's possible, but what's the probability of getting what you want? And I'm a person that's more focused on probability, not possibility. So I think you are as good as what you can negotiate. And I think everybody should try to negotiate the best of what they can get for where they land. And I'll leave it at that.
Right. Honest saying, don't jump my DM because I don't like when women shoot. I don't mind when this is it's a little different. So if you make the list, you can hop in DM. But you don't got to shoot your shot. Just say, hey, what's up? What's up with you? That's it. That's not really. I don't really consider that shooting shot. So honest say that in the comments. Great commentary, Craig. I agree with you. Great. Very insightful. Yeah, kind of like shoot for the best you can get. I think you said something there, brother. I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you, Craig. I think it's my first time seeing you, Craig. Welcome. Bacchus, what you got for us?
I took notes this time. So first of all, I hate the fact that you say that you fuck with somebody with children. That's on you. Do your thing, man. But come with me to Columbia one of these weekends, man. I'm gonna get you everything you need. And yeah, women shoot y'all shot. Y'all pretty much men. Y'all wanna be independent, have all this stuff, don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. If you for a lot of women, what y'all put out there that you say you offer in a relationship, if you close your eyes and listen to that, some of y'all women make great freaking men. So go ahead and be like a dude, get in Cardo's DMs, shoot your shot, say what you gotta say. Don't forget the nude pic. And yeah, no dick pics. My boy. And yeah, everybody just do what you want. Like, honest to God truth, but try something different. If something's not working for you, try something different. I did that, and as Cardo said, now I have changed, but that ain't true.
You're talking a little more spicy tonight. I'm betting your girl ain't around. I can tell the difference.
She in the kitchen. Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her I said
that. All right. Thanks, Bacchus. A changed man. But he's a little bit more spicy tonight because his girl ain't around. But
she in the kitchen cooking this time. I cooked last time. Y'all saw that on camera. Now she cooking on Uber Eats. But it's all good. She cooking now.
There we go. What's up, Julie? What you got for us?
I'm almost scared to come behind Marcus. He was over there combing out the beard and putting stuff on his eyebrows. I hope I'm camera ready. But my comment is great presentation. I really appreciated you referencing going back to what the stats were with African-American households prior to the 60s. And that is the foundation of my point, is that I think that we have lost what is valued in building a relationship. So sometimes the person is not at that finish line. And so it is the journey that makes it all worth it, to be able to make it to the finish line with that person and be able to enjoy the benefits of what it took to get there. But so many of us are opportunists. And so we yet trying to step on individuals to get to where we're trying to get to. And that's not what relationships are about. So, if you're trying to treat a partner like an investment opportunity, then you're going to end up losing or getting the short end of the stick sometimes. So that's my comment.
All right. Do you have a top 3 things you're looking for a partner if you're in the market?
So I had not finished my list, after looking at your novel on the screen. I said, perhaps I probably need to add some more things.
No. Just top 3. just top 3, y'all. I'm doing that because I'm hosting the discussion. So I feel like I need to have some kind of benefits from doing this. So I had to put my full list out there, but y'all can just get your top 3 things. That makes it a little bit more, actually top 3 is it can almost make for a better discussion, because why are those your top 3? That's what we're trying to figure out. So don't pay attention to my long bullet point list here, because I narrowed it down to the top 3. So if you can come up with your top 3, I
was just joking. But faith is very important to me. I want the person to be spiritual, need to know that they have like-minded, because that's where I am. Mm-hmm. Educated, not necessarily saying that he has to have a doctorate, but I need to know where your mind is. Intellect is sexy to me. And I am too also concerned about somebody having a whole bunch of children. I'm 53 years old. And so if his baby is younger than my baby, who is 25, we may just need to be friends.
There you go. So children, you said faith, and what was that second one?
Education, or the mindset, more importantly, because it's not about a degree, it's about what you're trying to do.
Yep, I got you. Thank you, Julia. Great commentary. Melissa, what you got for us, Melissa?
What's up? Great presentation, because it was awesome. Good job on. But I think collectively what we were all trying to say, and what the women were trying to say, is we don't mind. I think that, and women, you correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but women don't mind dating a man that's of average income, as long as he's willing to show the qualities and the capabilities of leading and getting to that next level. Does he want to stay at 40K? No, I think a woman is okay with meeting a man at 40K, as long as he has the vision and the capacity to go above and beyond that, because we want a man that's going to be able to lead us. We want a man that's going to be able to have a vision to go forward, period. So we're more than willing to stand behind us. That's how God designed us. God designed us to be helpmates. Right. So we're more than willing.
Yeah, I think women like you were okay for that, Melissa. Yeah. Some women were agreeing with you, and then Brain said one woman can't speak for all women, because like I said, all the women that I asked, that wasn't a thing. They weren't saying well, if he has other ththings. They were just saying, nah, that's a no-go. I'm not building a boo. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not building a man. I'm too old.
But a man with vision and plan won't need to be built by a woman. He just needs he just needs her support. Mm-hmm. He already has the plan written down of what he's gonna do to build himself. Mm-hmm. She's just there to be his helpmate. Mm-hmm. In my personal opinion, that's just me. That's on my, I'm on that totem pole.
There you go. Do you have a top 3 things you're looking for in a partner that you want?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very simple. Faith, vision, execution.
There you go.
That's faith, it. I'm very
faith, vision, execution. First, I like that.
Vision is second. As execution, he has to know how to execute.
Yeah. And Joey's shooting a shot in the chat. He said, "Melissa, you look real beautiful." Well, you know what you do, Joey? When we do breakout rooms, you turn your camera on, and you.
Word, I gotta see how you look.
Yeah. You man up, and you say it to her directly in the breakout room. Follow her to the breakout room if she's still here. That's how we do that here. Y'all stop shooting your shot from the chat with these no profile picture or nothing. Melissa don't know how you look. Thanks, Melissa. Great commentary. What you got for us, Gina?
So I also enjoyed your presentation. Very good. I do think that a lot of what people are like, even your list, I feel like people think that these lists are going to slow down the possibility of things not working out. And to me, that's the biggest issue with relationships, is coming to it with the mindset of, I'm going to stack the odds in my favor so things will have the best probability of working out. But we just know from life in general, that doesn't always help, because at the end of the day, I think it has to do with the spiritual alignment. Is this the person that is on your path for where God has you to be? If they're not, it don't matter if they check every box there is to be checked, and it's just not going to work out. So for me, my top 3 is, he has to be spiritually aware. You have to be aware that you're a spirit having a human experience. If you don't know that, we can't have no interaction. You also have to be able to read a book, have some type of intellect. It's not about a degree, it's not about any of that, but I want you to be able to mentally stimulate me as well as physically stimulate me. And you don't have to be at any necessary income level, but are you in your purpose? Kind of like what Melissa said about a plan, but are you in your purpose? You can be a janitor if you know that you're here to be a janitor, and that's how you're serving the earth and the world, then we'll make it work. We'll rock out. But you can't be being mad every day that you're a janitor, and then coming home mad and taking it out on me because you're a janitor, and then we can't go on no vacations, or you don't have a nice car, so you extra mad. Like, that's where the money thing comes in. I do think one of the biggest things that is of issue is that men are socialized that their value is in their penis in their pockets. So they see themselves like that. So if they have those things, then they have a different air about themselves. So they think it's the things that make women want them. It's not that. It's the energy that they come with when they think they have those things.
In some cases, a lot of ladies, it is the things though. But great overall, great commentary, Gina. I really like that. And honestly, let's keep you focused. Not meaning it's going to always work out, but it keeps you on a path. And I agree with that. Now, for me, I feel like in some ways, my list has helped me make quick eliminations to just know, like, come on, Rick, you don't really want that person. So my list has helped, but it's also been a stumbling block for me, because my list is kind of hefty. It's kind of long. So it's been a stumbling block, but it's also.
I just had this question. Are you everything on that list?
Well, some things I can't be. I can't, I'm curvy, but that's not a good thing for me. I'm trying to lose weight. But in general, I feel that.
In the words of Barack, be the change you seek.
There you go. But I feel like I feel like I'm compatible for the sort of woman that I have on my list. And I'm still working. I'm still a work in progress, like us all. But I feel like in general, I am what I want. But great follow-up question, Gina. Thanks. Anjanette.
Yes, hi. I'm just going to answer I'm just going to give the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's okay.
Yes.
So good character, and having good ethics falls into that category. Those type of things, just a good character overall. Some high intellect, because I need that challenge, and responsible. So responsibility, I think finances fall into that area. So to me, it doesn't matter how much he earns, as long as he's responsible with his money and paying bills on time and et cetera. Some people earn a lot of money and be frivolous.
Mm-hmm. So. Great comment. There you go. Thank you, ma'am. And I was just about to ask for more guys. I would like to hear more guys. Let's hear what guys are looking for, to just hear if I'm not the only one who has something. Because a lot of ladies, they don't have anything superficial on their list thus far. It's been really character and personality folks with the ladies list. But I wonder if a lot of guys share some more physical things on their list, just like me. But I see Harold and Carlos raise their hands again there, so maybe they'll share their list. But we got Jana up.
Hi, this dialogue has been very interesting to witness and be a part of, and thank you for all the work that you did on your end. I think the focus on the financial component is really interesting, because they're just there are just so many different barriers that kind of play a role in regards to people connecting in general, especially in this day and age where you're dealing with folks dating on the internet and like using these apps and all the things. And I think what Michelle Obama in that clip that you shared, she talked about trust and honesty. And for me, that becomes a huge barrier, especially in regards to dating within like my age demographic. Some people are just not being honest about what they're looking for and what they're doing.
What age
And
demographic are you?
so I'm 36 and I've dated between like 29 and 42.
Mhm.
And so it's a range. Like I'm trying to be flexible and open. But even in the midst of that, there's just kind of, so I think maybe for women that you're noticing a trend around character because that really is, I think that's quite rare, meeting men who are willing to be very honest about what they're looking for. It's one thing for a man to say, you know, when you first meet them, like, I'm looking for a one night stand or whatever, like, rather than kind of pretending to like courting you, dating you, and then it kind of turning around to being something else. And so I think that character piece and that honesty and transparency and just being respectful of, like, we're all human beings trying to have an experience and just being kind of kind to each other. To me, that's the most thing. That the money thing really is not important at all. I have my own. A lot of people have their own. A lot of women have their own, and so financially, but they're looking for a partner and someone they can trust. And that's not easy to come by these days, I don't think, unfortunately, which is sad.
Mhm. Yep, there we go. Thank you, ma'am. All right, Brother Harold, what you got for us, Harold?
Hey, I'm gonna kind of talk first. Let me say, was that Gina who said the penis in the pocketbook? Was that her who made that comment? Because I thought that's a great talk show. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that idea and turn it into a talk. So Gina, I'm gonna put you on that show. So it's gonna be penis and pocketbooks. But anyway, the first thing I wanted to do is talk about what we were talking about, you know, at my party, about the income range. And I think this is not just women. Men do the same thing. They, you know, we look at look at a woman from a particular snapshot, and I think that's just a very dangerous thing to do, because if any women out here who are looking at a man for a particular income range, you have to think about it. Like, income range always changes, you know, like Carter was saying, you know, there was a period of time where he was making 40, I was making 40 a period of time. You can't, looking at someone at that snapshot doesn't give a true example of who they are. I know there were some women that were saying that, you know, as long as he has to drive, and you have to look for that as well. But just focusing on that income, you miss out on a lot. And you can miss out on someone who can actually, you know, possibly be working on something or doing something that can make you very wealthy. And you know, you could be doing something very well, like Michelle Obama, you know, like I was saying, she could have not gone out with Barack and gone someplace else, and she wouldn't have been first lady. So I think we need to start like looking at snapshots and looking at the whole person as a picture, looking at their future, what they're planning on doing, goals, ambition, drive, all of that. All of that takes into the character of a person and how they're going to be in the future. So that was the thing that I wanted to kind of focus on. I hope that helps someone, you know, as they're looking. And as far as my top three, there's some on yours, Cardo. God-fearing is definitely number one. Athletic. I, you know, run half marathons, all that stuff. So I want someone who's athletic. And, you know, someone who has just like a great sense of humor. I have a very serious job, and there's not much laughter. So I love to like laugh, and I would like someone to just kind of just be a little goofy at times. So that's basically all I had to say.
All right, thanks, Harold. Great commentary. Let's hope some folks take that earlier part of what you said. You know, let's not just take a quick snapshot at people. Let's look at the whole person. You know, what you got for us, Lowe's?
Yeah, piggybacking off of what Harold said, money don't buy happiness. I've had jobs where I was making a lot of money, and I was no more happier then than I am than I was making less money. So, but at the same time, this is for the ladies and the men, don't settle. I think because people have settled in the past, wherever you fall in that totem pole, if you settle for somebody then go and have kids, you bringing yourself down. That's just my opinion. And that's about it. As far as my top three, mind, body, and soul, I like intelligence. Body, I want something that's pleasing to my eye. I don't care what other people think. She has to be attractive to me. Then soul, you got to have that spiritual piece. We got to be spiritually compatible.
Mind, body, soul. You said. What was your three?
Those were the three: mind, body, soul. Spiritual, pleasing to my eye, for us, the body, the looks, or whatever, and then the mind, intelligent.
All right, thanks, Lo. So the guys, we had something physical in our top three, where I haven't heard any ladies have anything physical in their top three. Because Harold said athletic, which I think falls in that realm, and Carlos said she needs to be pleasing to his eye, and I said curvy. So we all have something there for the guys. Kay, I saw you on camera real quick. You wanna say something, Kay? You wanna weigh in? You're muted.
I'm sorry. I'm grading papers. Like
oh yeah.
I'm working. I'm working. So I would just say this. For my top three, I would like a man that operates in his divine masculine. If he knows what that is, he knows what it is. The second thing for me is I love men that know how to do things with their hands. So like if it's a leak in the roof, can you at least patch it up until the person comes in, that does roofing, if you don't know how to do that? If the plumbing, if the pipes burst, can you at least, do you know how to cut off the water? Like, do you know how to do those basic things? Also too, number three for me is having someone that is spiritually, socially, and consciously aware of what's going on. So that's like my top three. And then also too, my outlook is very different because I have a majority of men in my family. So when you have a lot of men in your family and you look at how they operate differently with women, you can see things differently. And then I was taught differently as well. So my older brother, if I brought a dude to him that I was dating and he made less than my older brother would tell me not to date him, because my brother would tell me that if I had a child with this man and he couldn't afford to take care of that child, then my brother would have to step up and take care of that child. Because he's not gonna just let me just be out here struggling.
Right.
So, that's just how I was taught. And this is coming from men in my family. They want to know what you want to do. And then also to the ladies, I would say this: men will make more money if they are inspired by you. Because my younger brother, I have watched him run girls in and out, in and out, in and out. And then when it came time, the woman that he's with now, she has inspired him. He's going to propose to her next month. My brother went out and got a real job. My younger brother, he went out and got a real job. He's working at Buffalo Wild Wings part-time. He got a real job. He cuts grass every Sunday, plus, with his regular Monday through Friday job. So when a man is inspired by you, they will naturally be inclined to go out and make more money.
There you go. I agree completely with that. For the right woman, for the right man, if she's his inspiration, his feminine inspiration, that certainly goes a long way. And we don't speak enough about that. So I'm glad you brought that point up. Kay, Ron, what you got for us?
Hey, this is my first time speaking, but I just want to say hello to everyone. And first thing I want to speak of is the topic or the thing you covered in terms of money and the amount of money that men earn and women earn, so forth and so on. I just want to tell folks, we gotta take other things into consideration. Money is great, but you could have somebody earning six figures or more, and they could bring a lot of hell into your life. You can have somebody earning less than six figures and bring heaven into your life. So you have to start looking at the person that is in your life more than what they're bringing, or maybe find balance to it. That's what I should say, find balance. Because I'm not going to say, hey, don't take money into consideration, but don't make money, put money way up here, and then put the personality, put the mental and the emotional health of the person down here. You got to kind of balance that out, because you don't know what you're inviting into your household. You don't know what you're inviting into your bed. Right. In terms of my top three, I would say the first thing is being mentally and emotionally healthy. The second thing is physically active. And the third thing is a good work home life balance. I don't want to feel like I'm not married, but I'm dating or in a relationship with a workaholic. And that's definitely not a place I want to be. You know, I want to feel like this person is giving balance to their career as well as to me, not where they're, you know, maybe on call just about 24/7. And it's like I'm getting carved out here and there. No, you know, let's bring a little balance to that. But that's my comment.
There we go. Thanks, Ron. Great commentary. And Simone was talking to Timmy in the chat, and she said it's men who are keep bringing up the income thing, and it's not because women aren't talking about it, but we've already sussed out that women won't date a man. Most women won't date a man who's making average income. So men may be bringing it up.
How many people did you have
that
you asked that question to?
I on a personal level, Gina, I asked about 20 people personally, but here tonight, I asked everybody. We did a poll, and we saw that for women, a brother who's making average earning income is not sufficient for a majority of women here. So even if men are broaching the subject, it's because it's an issue that they're seeing out there. And really, I think, guys, I think we can. I think we're going to honestly might have to stop talking about it, and women are going to have to talk about it, because they're not really hearing us. And for a lot of us, it may come off as that we're being in business of self-serving. But this doesn't affect me really. I'm trying to I want to see more people get together, and I can see this is a barrier for a lot of people. But I think women are going to have to start trying to like get the other sisters on board and say, hey, look, I might have to reconsider. Go ahead.
Maybe
real
they're
quick.
more honest in a personal face-to-face, but in the group setting,
right? Maybe Don. What's up, Kay?
Oh, I just want to make something clear, because I saw some ladies in the chat talking about my younger brother who is 27, cutting grass. He cuts grass part-time. He is inspired by his woman to go and make extra money.
There you go.
He works as a truck driver during the week. No, I want to clear that. I want to clear that. He works as a truck driver during the week.
Right.
Okay. He works as a truck driver during the week. He makes close to 6 figures. And then so he can have extra money, he cuts grass on the weekend. He has his own LLC.
Right.
So
you even have to quantify that.
Let's not cut her off. Let's not cut her off.
No, I'm doing that for the ladies in the chat that said something about cutting grass. And I just wanted to make that very, very clear. Right. He's hustling, exactly, Amir, he's hustling for the woman that he's going to propose to next month. Again, he met her when he was 23. He was inspired by her to go out and get a real job, because he told me, like several other men have told me, women in Atlanta are easy. They're beautiful. He said within the first day, week, 2 weeks, they're going to give it up. So there's no point for them to work hard, do what they need to do, and operate in their divine masculine, because women are out here being masculine.
All right, we don't want to get too caught up on that point, but I know you want to defend your brother.
Yeah,
and that just that goes to the point of what I'm saying is that, you know, we got to stop with this. You know, like people are different. People do all different sorts of things. What's to say, you know, cutting grass, that's an honorable profession. You know, you're serving somebody, you're helping somebody, you know, and that he just, like she said, he's doing it on a weekend. And even if he wasn't doing it on a weekend, what's wrong with that? What if he was doing it every day? What if he flipped it and owned his own business down the road? We got to stop with it. There are a lot of men who are working trades, and they eventually become business owners down the line, but we're discounting people because of the certain profession. We just don't know where people are at. We don't know what cutting grass is going to turn into. You can turn it to a landscaping company. You can turn it to anything. Like she said, he's just doing it on the side. He's 27 years old. You know, we gotta cut each other a break. But anyway, I hate to get off on that soapbox. We'll let Sharon go, because we kind of got in the weeds with that a little bit. We'll let Sharon go, and we'll see here how much time. Okay, we were still good on time. I want to open up these breakout rooms, so I know some people want to talk one-on-one. What's up, Sharon? What you got for us?
Hi.
My top three are, he has to be spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, integrity. And it was hard to narrow it down to three, but integrity is high. You have to mean what you say and say what you mean. And that also means strong values and a good decision maker. But you also have to be ambitious and intelligent. And someone said a good word earlier, execution. You have to be able to execute, you know, making good decisions for your life and for your future. And if you're looking to get married, you know, for your family.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I like that. Yep. Yeah, that was Melissa who said that execution piece. So yeah, great list, Sharon. Straight to the point. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. Let me go ahead and open it up. Say thank everybody for coming out.
Hey, what's her OnlyFans? She's not appropriate to show. I mean, I'll sign up real quick. What's the
There we go. So you hit him on the back end. Hit him on the back end, Joe. But thanks everybody. I'm surprised that the conversation wasn't a little bit more heated than it was. Seemed like everybody had sensible approaches to this whole thing about the whole average thing. At least here in the commentary here, we heard a lot of sensible things, and it wasn't as unbiased and one-sided as I thought it would be. But I just want to thank everybody. Just go ahead, if y'all are we got some events coming up, in-person stuff, go ahead and tap in, make sure you RSVP. Some of these events you can't, a lot of stuff we can't do for free, so just make sure you get your money in and secure your spot. We only got a few more spots for the movies, we only got a few more spots for the karaoke. We're gonna do some more events too coming up, but that's all we got here. But we're going to go ahead and end this thing.